cheap Chinese piece of crap. It's awesome. Total piece of crap. Come on, wouldn't you trust his face?
So you can't hate on us because these Rovans are HPI clones. We got them just to see how they compare to an HPI, and I know there's a lot of haters out there that are going to go nuts because we have a clone and whatever. It's still a product that's still going to sell HPI parts because, you know, that's just the way it goes. If the HPI parts are better, people will buy the HPI parts. We just want to see how they hold up. The unboxing. You notice that Bob sent us the HPI for comparison. What we have in these boxes are the Rovan 5th scale buggies. Bigger motor than the HPI has in it, supposedly takes the same parts. But Bob sent us this HPI so that we can compare the two. Oh man, it's freaking huge looking.
And that's the Rovan buggy. Comes with the radio.
Nice.
Fuel mixing can.
Fly Sky radio, right? Has the Fly Sky 3B.
The Fly Sky radio.
What happens if we mix the gas wrong?
Then it blows up. It's a 2-stroke, so we gotta mix the... Dude, they're so big.
That was so fun.
It's so shiny and beautiful.
There you have it.
The pipe on that thing. It's like a work of art.
That's awesome.
I love how it like curly cues up around. 30.5 cc motor. The Rovan 5T buggy comes with a very powerful 30.5 cc 4-bolt 2-stroke motor, new with its very fast and super high torque metal gear servo. Rear-wheel drive, alloy gear differential case with hardened steel gears, very important, does not leak oil as the original plastic ones did. Front and rear sway bars, rear disc brakes, huge 9mm heavy-duty steel drive shafts, Walbro 977 carb, an NKG spark plug, 8,000 RPM clutch, strong aluminum chassis and other aluminum parts. All parts are fully compatible with HPI. Includes 2.4 GHz transmitter computer radio with automatic frequency hopping digital system. No need to worry about having the same signal as someone else. Built-in failsafe just in case you go out of range. Even includes general tools, spark plug wrench, wheel wrench, Allen wrench, cross wrench, fuel mix can, charger, multi-tool, air filter, and more. And an English instruction manual. I'm Ryan. This is Adam.
Yes, my name's Adam.
And we are doing a real honest review on the Rovan 5B buggies. They are an HPI clone. fifth scale gas buggy. And we're not here to talk the politics about their stolen intellectual property or anything like that. We are simply here to tell you how well the Rovan buggy holds up to me driving it and Adam chasing with the camera.
Yes, I like to do a lot of chasing with the camera.
They're pretty durable right off the bat. They're pretty fun to drive. They're huge. They're 40 pounds of awesome, and they're wicked fun to drive. But we did find a few issues with them. Right off the bat, the throttle servo in this blue one didn't even work out of the box. They come ready to run, and right out of the box, the throttle servo didn't work, and I had to dig around in my parts bin and find another servo to run on it. He had a leaky shock on this one that was no good, and we had to...
The shock just required a take apart, wipe down, rebuild, add some more oil, and we're good to go.
And even though Adam read all the forums and we knew we were supposed to tear them down completely and Loctite everything, we didn't bother, and we lost all the screws out of our rear bumpers, and his diff here lost the screws out of it and chewed up a gear, all because we just wanted to fire them up and play.
Well, just a word to the wise, them big aluminum bumpers look nice, but they're such a drag.
Yeah, they make you do wheelies all the time, and all the screws fell out of them. The big bumpers held up, covered and protected these pipes that I thought at first looked really, really cool. And they do give it a lot of bottom end takeoff torque and everything, but after you roll your buggy a couple of times while the exhaust is hot and it all bends in and twists up your frame and screws everything all up, it turns out they're not so great. So, and not every model has this either. We've looked at their website. Some of the different models have different exhausts on them. We've actually tried out a couple other ones that we'll talk about later, but that was an issue that got in the way. We both bent the crap out of our exhaust pipes and had to move them. Actual durability, other than the screws being loose and coming out of the diff on Adams, that chewed up a gear. But other than that, his held up really well, except for these knockoff tires. These are basically a Trencher's knockoff, and after he tore it down, we found that the tire is all cut on the inside on the rear tires.
Yes, but keep in mind, we were driving in a gravel pit where there was quite a few sharp rocks.
Yeah, a lot of shale.
If we stuck to a nice dirt track, it would probably fare a little better.
And maybe if you weren't doing donuts for 10 minutes straight.
I like donuts. Donuts are fun.
They're tasty. I beat the absolute snot out of this one. I wanted to see if any of the arms were going to break or anything like that, how well they would hold up compared to an HPI arm. So I jumped it off of 20-foot rock piles and things like that, and I was pleasantly surprised. Even jumping it up over the one big pile and landing in a ditch, the only thing that happened was it popped off the front tie rod end on the steering. We did let our dads drive them out in the field, and they ran into each other, and they broke my front arm right here when they clipped each other at like 20, 30 miles an hour.
The number one thing you forgot, when you let your dad drive, you say, don't try this at home. We are professionals.
They clipped each other, and he busted the thing that the bottom ball joint goes in right here is broken. And I've ordered more arms for it. You can use all HPI parts, so they're pretty inexpensive. It's like $20 for a full set of nylon front arms. You can get the RPM upgrades if you want. I chewed up my spur gear pretty bad. Jumping it and landing it hard while it's under full throttle destroys the spur gear in it. This is actually the second one that I destroyed, and if that's going to be my fail point, I'm okay with that. The HPI replacement is like $7. I think it was 10 shipped, so I'm okay with that. Absolutely destroyed the gears in that.
Now, a word to caution. Ryan likes to blame my destroyed diff spider gears on my donuts, but with that said, you get this nice aluminum diff case with the Rovan buggies. Unfortunately, there was no red Loctite holding the bolts in, which caused them to back out.
Or blue Loctite, for that matter.
Blue Loctite.
They just have lock washers on them, and they weren't torqued down.
Yes. So they worked their way out, spreading your spider gears, ending in a stripped out diff gear set, which fortunately, $30 and we'll be back in business. this is really the only casualty that has taken us out of running for a few days.
And we've put what, 6 tanks of fuel through them now, maybe
Yes.
7. So I mean, and it's not like we're necessarily being gentle. We did mix it. The fuel's supposed to be like a 25 to 1 or 30 to 1. We mixed it in between. We kind of split it and did like a 26 or 27 to 1. And it seems to be working okay as far as that goes. Running them, beating them hard, and they're fun. They go fast as far as that goes.
Yep. Overall, my opinion, if you want to get into 5th scale, you don't have $1,000 to spend on HPI, go for a Rovan.
Yeah.
Have some fun. Just don't let the haters scare you away.
Yeah, for $500, I mean, you really can't go too wrong on there. And although I will say on eBay, if you're not wanting to deal with the HPI clone stuff, or dealing with clones and all that, if you get on eBay, you can get an HPI for about $650, and then you got the legitimate brand or whatever. They'll be used, so somebody's already replaced the parts that goes bad. But I bought the other HPI off of Bob for $650, and I see them on eBay all day long for $500 or $600 used. So there's that caveat. You don't necessarily have to buy the clone for $100 more. You can get a used HPI and go that way. But
the biggest lesson learned, if you do go with the Rovan, make sure you do take it apart, check the Loctite, check your shocks, make sure you go over it with a fine-tooth comb, or you will end up breaking and losing parts that you would otherwise not be breaking.
Yeah, we probably spent an extra $100 to get there now to get parts that we lost because we just pulled them out of the box, fired them up, and went. So, yeah, as far as that goes. As far as straight up abuse, though, it takes some serious abuse other than that pipe, which we did try. We've tried some other pipes. This pipe works really well. A lot of bottom end takeoff, low end torque, really good for that. You can burn out with this pipe, but it's huge, sticks out the back, and it's really loud. So we were kind of ticking off the neighbors here in my little cul-de-sac. So we tried. I think these were $20 or $30. It's supposedly a quiet tuned pipe. The problem is it's uber cheap aluminum. As you can see, it melted. The whole end of it melted, and they used like a rubber gasket to join the two, and the rubber gasket exploded. We didn't even get a full tank of gas out of them, and they quit. They are quiet, but we lost a lot of power with them on there. So it's kind of I'm not used to dealing with 2-strokes a whole lot, so this is a whole new thing where you change a pipe and totally change the power band that you have. I'm used to just changing batteries to do that, so this was kind of new and interesting.
So the low end torque on the stock pipes was nice, and the higher speeds on the top end. For beginners, you might want to switch to something like this.
A little easier to control the buggy.
It takes a little bit less spin out of the wheels, and if you're running on loose gravel and dirt, it'll help you maintain control. But once you get better and you want some speed, throw this in the garbage, put this back on, and have fun.
And I did put on this one, which is more like the stock HPIs come with. It's basically like a weed whacker exhaust on it. It's a little quieter than the one that came stock with it. Doesn't seem to rob the power, but it is going to melt my wing, and it is still kind of loud. I mean, they're loud and obnoxious. The biggest problem that we have with these is just trying to find some place to run them, because I got a half-acre yard, and running them up and down the street, I'm pretty sure the cops would show up.
Yes.
If we're tearing up and down inside the city, they're going to show up. Thankfully, I got a gravel pit right down the road from us that we were able to go down to, but we usually have to wait until the evening when the gravel yard's not open and go down there and run. We can run at my dad's farm and his dad's farm, so we did that quite a bit in the grass. They go really great in the grass.
But then you have to share.
And Batman!